Hey guys, welcome to the Rebel Workshop. Today's wee video, I need to do a wee bit of maintenance on my TIE interceptor. For some reason, it's not firing properly. So let's do this. So as you can see, the light works, but there is no sound. Yep, still nothing. But at least the light works. So time to take it apart. It's fairly simple, you just need to get the battery cover off. I'm struggling a wee bit, I'm doing this one-handed. After the battery cover comes off, there we go. There's just a few screws. You take them out and it just opens up. Now the motor that's inside this is what makes a noise. It does tend to stick. Considering it's almost 30 years old, I don't blame it. Sorry, 40 years old almost. But once I get these screws off, I'll be able to open it up and show you. Now, if it is a motor, they do tend to just seize up a wee bit. As I said, they're old motors, and hopefully that's all it is. If that's the case, I just need to turn the wheel on it for a wee bit, just manually turn the wheel, and it should work and loosen it up. Then we'll see. So as you can see, there's 4 screws on the main body, and to the left and the right you can see 2 of the other screws on either side of the wings. Undo them and it just opens up. As you can see, actually the battery terminals are actually pretty good on this. I've not been storing it with the batteries in it just in case, just to keep it good. So it's been well looked after. So all the screws out, the wings are off, the battery cover's off. Now we just need to open up. Now inside you see some of the wires coming from the battery terminals and the battery. And there's a wee motor there. Now it's that wee cog that should be spinning to make a noise, but it's not. So hopefully with just a wee turn it should work. Yeah, so I spun it around. Perfect, it's working now. All it took was just a couple of manual turns by myself. I put a couple of wee drops of WD-40 in it just to make sure it's still working. And you can see it with the light as well. Again, I'm doing this one-handed, so bear with me. Perfect. Horrible noise though. So it's now just a case of putting it all back together, putting all the screws in. Again, this is quite tricky trying to do this one-handed. And the screws tend to just go all over the place, but yeah. So here's it all back together and making that lovely noise. So there we go, all back together, looking great. The TIE interceptors have always been one of my favourite Star Wars vehicles. Just looks so menacing with those pointy wings. And of course inside, the wee TIE pilot. Poor wee guy's always stuck in there, he never comes out. Oh well, back in you go, pal. Now considering how old this is, it's actually in pretty good nick. The stickers are all original. There's no much warping to the wings or anything like that, so I'm fairly happy. I'll try to keep it as good condition as I can. So here's the TIE fighter now up, hanging from the ceiling. It was a bit of a pain to actually hang properly because it's front heavy, because of the wings sticking out at the front. I had to put an extra bit of fishing wire around the front just to keep it balanced properly. But I still think it looks pretty good just hanging up there, just above the shelf with all my helmets. And of course I've got the other TIE fighter hanging up here, next to my miniature helmets and some of my lightsabers. Yeah, pretty happy how that's turned out. Of course, I've taken the batteries out now and it doesn't actually light up or make any noises, because why would I need to do that? Plus, with the batteries in it, over time the connections could corrode, and I don't really want that happening. So yeah, fairly happy with that. There you go guys, another addition to the room done and dusted. Thankfully it was a simple fix. If you found it useful, please think about subscribing, and I'll see you next time on the Rebel Workshop.